All right. Black Power with the General Suten Seti, and I'm black at y'all ass again with this real fucking talk. Black Power. To all my family out there, know what it is. KingSeti.com, online marketplace, fly African products, comedic products, General Suten Seti DVDs, all that classic shit that you gotta have. You know, fly shirts for the kings and the queen. Sisters ain't gotta put on no nigga shirt. You got the queen shirt fitted just for the queen, fitted just for the king. We got African jewelry, comedic jewelry, shit, more products, fly products to come. Check me out, KingSeti.com. Patreon, General Suten Seti. Y'all know what it is, exclusive live streams, all type of wisdom series for the gods and goddesses out there. You understand? When it's too hot to do on YouTube, you know what? I go to Patreon. You see what I'm saying? And so to, exclusive hot shit. You understand what I'm saying? So go over there, Patreon, General Sarasu said, when it get too hot for YouTube, and it get too hot for Patreon, y'all know where I go? I go to GeneralSeti.com, Seti University, where I could just be me. You see, all the shit that can't, motherfuckers, you say, damn, Seti, where all the, I say, goddamn, nigga, what you want me to do? You want me to act up on the white man YouTube so he can snatch all my shit down? No, we can't do that. So going over there, I got over 500 videos. GeneralSeti.com, Seti University is growing every day. It's probably going to be over 1,000 videos on it by the end of the year. So most definitely, it's the place to be. Now, today we're going to be dealing with the Serpentine African goddess, mermaid goddesses of ancient times, even into the modern times. You see what I'm saying? Even into the modern time. Now, y'all already know I've been on my Naga for a very, very long time. You see what I'm saying? That's the Serpentine energy. You see, a lot of people, because the white man, he didn't intertwine, the devil and all of that shit into the reptilian, manifestation. When motherfuckers hear serpentine, automatically they think, you understand, that it's something negative or evil. No different than they think of blackness. When motherfuckers say black, Black Monday, Black Tuesday, Black Wednesday, Black Ball. Motherfucker get put out the game, you get blackball. Devil food cake is black, and angel food cake is white. So everything, and that's why I have to teach family that, black people and white people ain't just enemies, we mortal enemies. And that's very significant. I keep banging on motherfuckers because it's very, very clear. I know the signs. I don't hesitate to say that. Okay? Some motherfuckers fumble with it. I don't fumble because I know the signs. You see what I'm saying? We're not just enemies. We mortal enemies. That means, it's in our DNA code. You understand what I'm saying? To be totally the opposite of the other. You understand what I'm saying? And when you talk about mortal, you talk about death. And the reality is, in order for us to be who we are, that totally destroys any aspect of them being who they supposed to be, and vice versa, because we the two extremes on the planet. You understand what I'm saying? When I say extreme, that means we the furthest apart. When you look at our culture, you understand what I'm saying? And you look, you might have some peoples out there, they got, they might have a little goddess here and there, but they still, they still got that patriarchal dominant thought pattern. You understand what I'm saying? So they ain't all the way on the left, you understand? But they ain't close to the right neither. You see what I'm saying? But when you talk about black people and white people, you talk about the two extremes, the two furthest apart. When we speak and we think totally the opposite. You see what I'm saying? So it's a fallacy. it's a fallacy to think that people can sit down with the other side and think y'all gonna have the same ideology. That y'all, that's a fronting situation right there. And it is what it is because I'm looking at the science from nature. Now, leave emotion out. It ain't got nothing to do with emotion. Once you understand the rules of the motherfucking game, play the game to win. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no need, to finagle and skip to the loo and all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? You get right to business, of getting free. You see what I'm saying? Now, when we talk about the Serpentine, goddess, in which we see, is very evident in ancient Egyptian religion. You see what I'm saying? That, when you see the serpent on the wall, 99.9% of the time, it's a reflection of the feminine energy. See, this is where they got the, niggas kundalini and the motherfuckers can go through all the chakras and shit from the Hindu perspective. You see what I'm saying? Now, is it anything wrong with knowing that information? Wait a minute, hold on. Okay, I had a look. It froze up on me just a second. Is it anything wrong with that information? Not at all. Ain't nothing wrong with the information. But too many times we interpret from a student's perspective, okay? Instead of the masters that we are. And there's no excuse for that. You understand what I'm saying? We always reading another motherfucker book. You understand? And you can see where they got it from. They got it from us, and we go through the back door to get it from another motherfucker who copied off of our shit, copied off of our ancestors. You see what I'm saying? So when I look at, the Hindu thing, they over there, they carbon copying off of the Nagas, the original peoples of the land. We don't understand that. But see, the thing is, we think that Christianity and Islam and this, that, and the third, and they the only ones. And shit, Hinduism is no motherfucking different than Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. You could throw goddamn Hinduism right on in there. You understand? Buddhism, you can throw that unless you go into the original base, the Kushite base. Now, again, I'm going to throw this out here because I see the frequency is getting out there in the universe because I've talked so long about, what they call the Indian Ocean. You see, Africa has put it on the table now that they're going to rename the so-called Indian Ocean, which I clearly been teaching for the last 20 years, ain't no goddamn Indian. How it's going to be the Indian Ocean when it ain't Indian nowhere on the planet when the Kushites was ruling that whole area. You see what I'm saying? And again, I've already discussed what they call the Arabian Sea. How the fuck is you going to name a sea after a landlocked goat herder race? You understand what I'm saying? All they stories is about goats and shit, and they ain't heard one goddamn story about a boat or nothing. Here it is, you gonna name a whole goddamn sea after the Arab. You understand what I'm saying? So that got to be renamed. Then you got Lake Victoria, Lake Albert in Africa. Got to rename that. You see what I'm saying? And so this is this is redefining your reality. When you start renaming and applying the original, then shit begin to fall into place. You understand what I'm saying? But you're gonna leave shit, just like it is, and and then you confuse in reality. You understand what I'm saying? Feelings gonna have to be hurt. Some people don't want to do that because they don't want to hurt no feelings. You understand? Too many of y'all niggas is out there confused about hurting a motherfucker. Feelings don't get hurt, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Some people just got to, you want to, accommodate everybody. You can't accommodate everybody. You got to accommodate your own self. You understand what I'm saying? Fuck another, because nobody has ever accommodated us. We've always been despised. So again, Africa is renaming the so-called Indian Ocean, which I've always said it was the Kushite Ocean. Been saying that shit for 20 years. You understand? Recently, I added Naga Kushite onto it because I want to emphasize the Serpentine foundation of the Kushite from all the way to Africa. I don't want nobody to be confused, because when y'all see the serpent, automatically y'all think of the Naga in India. It's not. The Naga, the Serpentine, whether it be a zoo type, many times you will see the Naga with a lion head. Let me get some, going to put something up here. Get something on up there while I'm talking. You will see the Naga with the lion head. You can see the Naga with a human head. And many, it really no limit to what the energy. You know what I'm saying? And so, I had to show family that you right there in Sudan, you got Naga. And you go to the temple and you see right there the Serpentine, the Naga with the serpent with the lion head on it. And then all through Africa, you see this. You know what I'm saying? And so I wanted family to, because when they hear the term Naga, they say, oh, that ain't, people just taking it and remixing it and make it sound like nigga. No, we was Naga from the very goddamn beginning, fool. You just don't want to wake up because you done been taught wrong. You've been taught against that power. That word is so powerful and remain in our vocabulary even to the goddamn day. You understand what I'm saying? And and motherfuckers want to make it mean what it need to mean so they can talk, down on what it mean. No, bitch, it mean king. That's what it means. That's what it means. It means divine. Anywhere you go in the world where our peoples are located and you hear the expression of that word, it means royalty and divinity. And you just cannot accept it because you've been taught wrong. And you got to snatch that superiority, the white man's superiority complex down out of your mind. And you many times you don't want to do that. Crackatosis is stronger than coffee. Niggeritis is stronger than coffee. Okay? You think goddamn COVID a goddamn epidemic. Goddamn crackatosis and niggeritis. Goddamn it, the greatest goddamn epidemic in the history of black existence. The greatest goddamn pandemic in the history of black existence. When we talk about, we are starting in the Caribbean, dealing with the mermaid, because when you're dealing with the mermaid and you're dealing with the Naga, first and foremost, you got to understand that the Naga is what? It's a water serpent. You understand what I'm saying? Now you got the feminine, you got the masculine. You got the feminine and you got the masculine. In Egypt, par excellence, it was the goddess. You understand what I'm saying? Because when you deal with a goddess, when we talk about the Ouroboros, and that's the serpent with his tail in his mouth, a complete 360-degree circle. When you talk about the circle, you're talking about the womb automatically. You understand what I'm saying? You're talking about the womb, and when you're talking about the womb, you're talking about creation. You're talking about birth. And so when you talk about, it's eternal life. When you talk about the ankh, you see at the top, you see the Ouroboros, you see the 360-degree representing the womb. That's eternal life. And it's greater than just putting on, saying it mean life. It's a politic there. You understand what I'm saying? When you talk about the respect of the woman, if you're not defending and protecting your woman, then you ain't got no life. And this is speaking to the manhood. You understand what I'm saying? Fuck what you heard. If you ain't doing that and all that goddamn books and references and shit, and niggas throwing up the black fist, but they ain't taking the science and truly applying it, then this shit is just rhetoric to a motherfucker. You see what I'm saying? So when we talk about we talk about the Naga, you talk in the mermaid, Naga or the serpentine energy is not just represented in uh, uh, the serpent. When you talk about the mermaid, that's serpentine. You understand what I'm saying? Because when you're dealing with the serpent, you're also dealing with waves. You see what I'm saying? You're also dealing with waves. And when you're dealing with waves, you're dealing with water. You understand what I'm saying? Going back to the Naga. And so all energy is measured in waves. So when you deal with the serpentine, you deal with energy. That's why many times when you talk about the energy of Ra, you're talking about the sun, and you see on the winged sun dish, you see the two serpents. And then when you look on the Pharaoh's crown, and a whole lot of other places, on the temples, even in the east, and you will see the serpent is like it's coming down from the sky. And when you look on the crown of the pharaohs, you will see the serpent because that's energy. And where does it see? It see that the pineal gland. You see what I'm saying? So when you talk about why jet, which is the cobra that's sitting on the brow, what they call the brow chakra, for many who don't, or the seat of the pineal, that's the goddess Wajet. So she is the goddess of the third eye. You see what I'm saying? And so that's symbolic of a receptor, sender, satellite. You understand? Right there, because the melanin is the conductor of the cosmic energy. Without the melanin, you don't have nothing. You ain't receiving, nor can you send. You see what I'm saying? And that's why when you see a vampire, you see they look in the goddamn mirror, what? They don't have no reflection. Why? Because they don't have a soul. That's just it. You understand what I'm saying? Because the pioneer is the seed of the soul. You understand what I'm saying? And when the energy comes and it is received at the pineal, then you also got heavy melanin seated in the back of the brain at the stem of the spine, at the brain connected to the spine. There's a lot of melanin there, and from the spine, which acts as the nervous system that sends the messages to all areas of the body. And so you know what I'm saying. So the nervous system acts as as you see, you can see out on the highway when you see the electric poles. They look just like the damn spine of Osiris, which they call the Jed pillar. You see what I'm saying? And you can see that they got the wiring system that go all over the country. The wiring system is your nervous system. That's your veins and shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's as it connected to each area of the spine. You got different areas of the spine that are responsible for certain parts of the body. And so when that energy come in, it's sending a directive to your body to do certain, and it's a healing aspect to that also. And they know that. That's why they took the sun, the winged sun disc, and the two serpents and put it on the caduceus, which is the medical symbol. And you go in the Bible and it says the sun with healing in his wings. So even there, they understood the healing energy of the sun. When you conscious and know you connected to the sun, then you amplify and you master that system. You understand? But when you go and become a part of a goddamn religion, you shut down the system because you ain't gonna have no concept that you connected to the sun. You're not gonna have it. So you know this because every time one of these old wicked ass priests or imams or anyone, they want to bless you, they always put their hand on top of your skull and they put their hand on your goddamn forehead, and consciously that's blocking you from understanding your true connection to the cosmos. So we talking serpentine energy. Okay, and so here you see what they call, and they got that shit over here, and I got that too. They call it the serpent mile. Where I got that. I want to put that down here so y'all can see this. Where that serpent mile shit? Here you go, right here. So you see right here, this is over here in America. You understand what I'm saying? You see the serpent and you see the egg right there. You see what I'm saying? And you see the egg right there. Now the serpent, now people got to understand that the egg is the sun. That's what it is. And then you in the East, they got what they call the dragon egg, in which we're gonna deal with that. That's the sun. And so you got to understand, when you go into Christianity, they waiting on Jesus. But in the East, it's referred to as the return of the dragon. But see, people don't understand that the dragon is only a zoo type of the sun. You see, so when they talk about the return of the dragon, they talking about the return of the next solar age to the planet that's going to cleanse this planet of all these defects. You understand what I'm saying? And these viruses that's walking on the planet. You see what I'm saying? And so that is referred to as the return of the dragon, which is the sun. And then in the Norse mythology, I went over it on Patreon. Y'all see me down there? Y'all want to go over there and check it out? Hard Body. I couldn't give it on YouTube. They take it off here quick, fast, in a hurry. When you talk about Ragnarok in the Norse mythology, they also talk about the end of Asgard by a fire demon that they call Serpentine. You see what I'm saying? And so even there, they know that it's going to end by fire. You go into Revelation, it ends by fire. See, but that's not us. So when you see the Jesus on the cross, you got to understand that all that, the shit in the Bible, that's just allegory. The true meaning that the cross that he nailed to is the solar cross. You know what I'm saying? That's what he nailed to. He nailed to the soul. And the ancestor prophesied when they was coming into Egypt, though they was conquering our land at that time, they knew that the science was already written, that the time would come where the sun would come back into alignment with the earth and cleanse the planet. And that's why they burned all them scrolls at Alexandria. That's why they burned them, because they knew that was the documentation that proved it all. All the documentation that proved that their time is coming, and they didn't water it down today and call it global warming. You understand what I'm saying? So you see here the serpent in the mouth, and you come here and you see I set right there as the serpent, and we can show this all over Egypt. This is, you know what I'm saying? I set the winged serpent with the sun on, and so so this is only symbolic of our set. That's why we can see that the Egyptian divine system of spirituality had come all over the planet. You understand what I'm saying? We can see it's not just one thing. It's so many that it's so obvious that I don't understand how niggas is still playing games today. If the world is still built and you can show all over the world that they all took from Egypt, then why the hell are we second guessing the answer to this goddamn problem? You understand what I'm saying? It ain't people, it's because y'all want to water the shit down. You don't want to go all the way with it. Because at no time, if you in a solar religion, you already know who the enemy is. It ain't like other religion where it's all based on the individual. If you're in a solar religion, it's obvious who God and who the damn devil. You see what I'm saying? It's obvious. Let me move down. So you see in many, Yemi Ya, Mami Walter, you understand what I'm saying? Those are modern representations. And, ISIS is par excellent. And that I'm just going to be real. ISIS is par excellent. You understand what I'm saying? She is the goddess of goddesses. You understand what I'm saying? No other goddess have been more venerated than Isis, the African goddess of the Nile Valley. And so many of those in what you see today are a reflection of her. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm still concerned with certain aspects. You know what I'm saying? Of these goddesses. Some are painted white today, and people have not dealt with that. You know what I'm saying? Some of them are painted white, and I don't believe everybody accepts that. You understand what I'm saying? But it's some things that got to be dealt with. Some of the goddesses have been raped, and this, that, and the third, and I'm not in agreement with nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? It got to be a pure reality from creation. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't, some of them myths I got a problem with, and I'm gonna just leave it there. And you see here again, the goddess, as a mermaid is only symbolic of the great creative feminine force of primordial creation. It's not just the water that you see out there in the ocean and the seas, and we talking about the primordial waters, the waters within the woman's pregnant belly, her stomach. Those are the primordial waters of creation. You can go in that goddamn bathtub. When you're in your mother's stomach, you can exist underwater. You understand what I'm saying? But I tell you what, take your ass out there in that ocean or them seas or the bathtub, go up under that water. See, so that's not the primordial water. The primordial waters of creation are those waters which is connected with birthing and creation, dealing with the African woman. So when we got to go and understand that when you're talking about creation, you got a blueprint that cannot be tampered with. You see what I'm saying? You got to go back there and understand that. You know what I'm saying? No matter where we at today, you understand, that just show you where we fallen from. In order to get back, we got to go back and fetch. Like Sankofa, go back and fetch. You understand? It got to be a divine respect. Anything that go on between the family, between the man and the woman, it got to be divine. We got to keep high standards, you know what I'm saying, on how we deal with one another at this time, because it's so critical that we get it together at this time. You see, we got all these epidemics, we got all this fighting going on. So we got to deal with each other on the divine level. You see, again, showing the goddess in water. You also see she's surrounded by fruit trees. You understand what I'm saying? And so that's another aspect. The water shows that she's agricultural. You understand? That's also serpentine when you're dealing with the green. You understand what I'm saying? You're dealing with vegetation. You're dealing with you're dealing with rebirth and spring and regeneration. You understand what I'm saying? And then you eating. She's the nourisher. That's headache root. The nourisher. The sustainer. You see what I'm saying? All those things. And so this is a very beautiful culture in which we come from. You understand what I'm saying? It's not, we think too much. We go too deep when the evidence is simplistic. You understand what I'm saying? But it's the will to overthrow this reality which we living in, which ain't even a reality. It's an insanity. You understand what I'm saying? When we want to be comfortable inside of this insanity, that show we still insane. You understand? It's still about, it's still about separation. It's still about cleansing our minds, our spirits, our bodies. You understand? Our land. It's about cleansing the planet. It's about cleansing the universe, which means it's going to take a force to do that. That's power. Too many of you niggas wanna do it. You think a sermon gonna change something? It's not gonna change nothing. You understand what I'm saying? When you see how people took over and got this planet in the sick state that it's in, they couldn't do it just by talking. They used the force to bring that about, and we have to bring a force to undo it. Okay, we have to bring a force to undo it. You see here, that's how we can see water. See, when you look at this door right here, you see the stars in the door. And so what you understand is that's new. That's the mother of rock. But he's on the ark. See, he's selling. So that's the primordial water. we got to understand that the river, the cosmic Nile, is, within the African woman, within Nu. So he's sailing on the celestial Nile. Okay, he's going through the doorway. Hear that? He's going, and when he's reborn, he's coming through the doorway. You see what I'm saying? So that's water. That's cosmic water, the black waters, primordial waters of creation. You see, and you see the sun too. So when you talk, but you got the S-U-N, but it's also, which later became the S-O-N. So this is the concept of Nu. See, she's also the serpentine energy, the mermaid energy. We got to understand that serpentine is the 360 degree. You understand what I'm saying? Represent, and matter of fact, all numbers are serpentine. When you look at it, they're all serpentine. And so when we come down here, let me break this down. I didn't want to click through so many. Let me go straight to it. Certain words let us know. Where is that? Don't see how I did that. Okay, it's down here. I got to move this up. Let me move this up. I got to teach in real time. Got to teach in real time. I'm like, man, something ain't right. Let me get this up here. Got to teach in real time. Okay, bring this up. Let me bring this up. Okay, now, when we talk about dealing and identifying the serpentine energy and serpentine word origin, see, your certain prefixes that are inside of a word that identify whether it's serpentine. Now, these particular, if you want to say suffixes or prefixes, however you know what I'm saying, it can be either or. One of them is Ophi, O-P-H-I, and it can also, be spelled I-P-H-O. Then you got O-P, okay, O-P-H-E. Then you got O-R-P-H. You see that O-R, you can even O-R. And then you got O-P-H-Y, like in philosophy. I'm gonna back it up. You see what I'm saying? That's how, if you can find these suffixes and prefixes in a word, that can most time identify whether it's serpentine. And there's others too, but these right here I'm using for this particular teaching. So when you talk about Sophia, you see what I'm saying? Greek, where goddess of wisdom. You see what I'm saying? That's serpentine. Now, you see the owl. See, and then you see the owl even in many occult teachings. The owl is serpentine. You see what I'm saying? The owl is also considered serpentine. The unicorn and certain animals like that are considered to be on the serpentine energy. So when you say Sophia, you see the Ophi in there, O-P-H-I. And so when you come to the Hagia Sophia, you see what I'm saying? You got to understand that's serpentine in origin. You see what I'm saying? That's Isis. You understand what I'm saying? Because Hagia Sophia, that was the first Christian church on the planet. You understand what I'm saying? Coming from Egypt. When the Romans fled from Egypt, they went to Constantinople, and then they set up the Hagia Sophia. And then from there, then they began to, conjure up, this Jesus myth. You understand what I'm saying? That was really taken from Egypt and the Serapis cult. You understand what I'm saying? Serapis cult fled Egypt, and then they went to Turkey with Constantinople, Turkey, set up, the Hagia Sophia. And from there, all through Turkey, they had these councils, these ecumenical councils, which each council was to establish something in Christianity today. One council, Chalcedon, this Serapis was made Christ. One council, the Theotokos, Mary was created. You see what I'm saying? And so on and so forth. So the Hagia Sophia is a temple to Isis, but you're not gonna know that until you break down the word origin. Now, when you go to the Basilica, St. Peter's Basilica. Now, I didn't went over this. Now, we got to understand Basilica come out of what? The basilisk. Now, what is the basilisk? Let me come back up here. The basilisk is the king of serpents. You see what I'm saying? Now, you see, when you see this, you got to understand the serpent always wear a crown. He's not just any serpent, but they got that from Egypt. You see what I'm saying? They got that from Egypt, the basilisk. Let me go up one. Right here, the king of serpents. So when you get basilica, the basilica is only feminine. The feminine aspect of basilisk, basilica. You see what I'm saying? So this is the temple of the serpent queen, which we call Aset. That's why when you go Notre Dame, the Notre Dame. Who is that dame? In Paris or Isis. Okay? That's Isis. And so in the basilica, that they done flipped it, you get what in there? You get Lilith. You see ill. And so in that sense, they done flipped it. Even though it was rooted in Isis, anything that they do with Serapis. They took Osiris, made Serapis. They took Tahuti, made some Hermes. You understand what I'm saying? They took Amen and made Zeus Amen. They took Isis and made some old Virgin Mary. So they took Isis and they made other European serpent demons such as Lilith. Okay, and so you see even in that you see the Saint Peter's Chapel and all of this shit. You see El is in chapel. So all of them demons and shit is inside. They done flipped, you understand, and added all these demons into the wording. But if you're not aware of the wording, you won't even understand that it's there. You see what I'm saying? So you see right there. They knew that even in ancient Egypt, the temple is the woman. That's facts. You understand what I'm saying? Because when you look at it, when you look at a body and you look at Newt, you see and break it down that all the aspects of the temple is derived from the African woman. That's facts. And so here we talk about centrifugal force. Okay, what is centrifugal? That's the energy of moving in the circle. You understand? The universe. Even your goddamn record player and your DVD player, the engine in your car is moving in centrifugal force. Centrifugal force. Okay, my goddamn mouth got that African mouth and shit. Can't always get that shit out. Centrifugal force. Okay, and the opposite of that is centrifugal force. Okay, and it's the circle, and you see right there within that is energy. You see what I'm saying? You ain't gonna have no energy without the movement of the spiral or the circle. You understand what you're not gonna have no energy. The turbines, when you talk about a dam, you see what I'm saying? You got them turbines in there spinning. You see what I'm saying? That's energy. And so that's the Ouroboros, that's the womb. When you talk about the circle, you talking about the womb. You see what I'm saying? Now, when you talk about number one, you go 0, you go 1, and the 1 what represents the phallus. Then when you got 2, you understand them 2 come together, you can get 3. You understand what I'm saying? And the 3 is the child. You see what I'm saying? So when people tell you that, 0 means nothing, no, I don't know how they add that shit up. You understand? They'll tell you that 0 means nothing, and at the same time tell you that the circle, which is 360 degrees, represent infinity. So it sounds like motherfucker talk. So this is the Ouroboros. This is the oldest or the first known representation of the Ouroboros in history. This is in ancient Egypt. And you see the serpent with the tail in his mouth. You see what I'm saying? 300, and you see within Ouroboros, you see Ouroboros. And so you come back up in here and you see Or. You see what I'm saying? And so you see that's the sun. You see what I'm saying? That's symbolic of the sun. So the whole universe, when you talk about an orb, you understand what I'm saying? When you talk about orb, and so the egg. So even within that, the dragon's egg, that's feminine. So the dragon with the egg is not the masculine dragon, and it's the feminine dragon. So most of them stories, if you ever see a dragon laying an egg, you know that's feminine. You see what I'm saying? So that the dragon's egg is the sun. You see what I'm saying? Nu is the dragon. And so in the Revelation, they say the great dragon coming back. That's the sun. That's the black goddess of creation coming back to give birth to the solar age. That's going to scorch these motherfuckers right up off of the planet. You see? And so you see orbit. You see what I'm saying? That's serpentine. That's serpentine. And you see here, that's why here, this is in ancient Egypt, you see the sun and you see what? The Shanu, which is symbolic of eternity. And then you come here in the dragon, you see the sun, which is symbolically the same thing. The winged serpent is the predecessor of the dragon. You see what I'm saying? And so anytime you see the return of the dragon, it's talking about the sun. Now in Greek mythology, you see what I'm saying? You see that the Serpentine goddess was, as in everything else, was demonized. When you go in the Bible, you talk about Heru. You understand what I'm saying? Demonized. Moses come up off the mountain and throw the damn 10 Commandments into the golden calf. See, they have no respect for the woman. You know what I'm saying? So when you see Moses come up off the mountain and throw the 10 Commandments into the damn, that's the destruction of the feminine worship at that time of history. You understand what I'm saying? And so you see what they call Medusa. Now Medusa, people don't understand. See, when y'all break that Greek mythology shit down, hold on. When y'all break that Greek mythology shit down, you got to understand that Medusa was a titan. She was a titan. She was before the gods. You see what I'm saying? The Titans was before the god. And so that just show you the ancient history of the Serpentine goddess, how it existed before all so-called religions on the planet. You see what I'm saying? And you got to understand that Serpentine is also resurrection. You understand what I'm saying? Resurrection, rebirth. Because the serpent what? Sheds his skin, shares her skin, and comes into a new life. You understand what I'm saying? So that's resurrection. So the serpent is a symbol of resurrection and rebirth. Infinite wisdom, infinite and eternal life. You see what I'm saying? And if you ain't having no children, nigga, you're not going to have no eternal life. And so you see, not only the locks is symbolic of the serpent, you understand what I'm saying? You see the power in that. You see the power and the energy of that. You see what I'm saying? They demonized it. Until now, you look on goddamn Clash of the goddamn Titans and you see them cut the head of the Gorgon off. Now you also see in Gorgon, you see OR. G-O-R-O-N, Gorgon. I think that's how you spell it, Gorgon. G-O-R-O-N, Gorgon. Okay, with them. So you see the serpentine origin in that. Oracle. Oracle is also serpentine, in which we dealt with. Okay, the serpents represent the Nubian locks of African people. Medusa was a titan who represented the divine beings that existed before the gods, as I just said. And so you see here in Mami Wata, you see what I'm saying? You see she's a water, and you see the serpent is also symbolically connected to Mami Wata. Even so, you see the water, she's a serpent, a water serpent. You see what I'm saying? Which is the same as the Naga, a water serpent. Okay? And you see right there the egg of creation. Okay? The egg of creation. And you already know that that the egg is the symbolism of the woman. She the one with the egg. You see what I'm saying? So the son hatched from the primordial egg of the primordial black goddess. You see what I'm saying? And so you see all over in ancient Egypt, you see right there, this is Wadjet and Nekbet. Okay, the two African goddess, protective goddesses of the sun. And they took it and created the caduceus, which I'm doing in the Hermetic exposed, Hermetic occultism exposed. Because the only thing they did with Hermes is the same thing that they did with Osiris and Serapis and so on and so forth. And so what do we get out of this? You understand what I'm saying? What do we get out of this? What changes comes from number one, truth trumps all lies and beliefs and emotional and irrational thought. When you talk about the ancient Egyptians, when you talk about the African, and see, when I'm talking about ancient Egypt, you got to understand that ancient Egypt is the best of all of Africa. It's not just no one particular tribe in Egypt. You're talking about Egypt benefited from the wisdom of all of Africa. You see what I'm saying? In Egypt, many of the sciences of the universe was perfected. You understand what I'm saying? They perfected it. You see? And so it's some exact sciences that cannot be refuted. Yes, it's things that needed to be added on. But the righteousness aspect and the great scientific research of ancient Egypt, man, it's hard to if it can be surpassed. You understand what I'm saying? You can't make a better wheel. You can't make a better alphabet. You didn't invent paper. And we went through damn near 10,000 years, and we have not created a better technology yet. You understand what I'm saying? I don't give a goddamn. You can create the computer. You can create all that shit. You understand what I'm saying? Writing is more profound than all of that, because when you write, it's a divine attribute. It opens up chambers in the soul and the mind that typing cannot do. When you write something, it stay in the mind far longer. It's almost as you write it on paper, you writing it in your mind. So when when you move in that pen, it's like a wand. You see what I'm saying? And thoughts can flow. You can write it quick. You can type, but when you're using that pen, and the pen is serpentine. The letter system is serpentine. You see what I'm saying? So it's a certain energy that comes out of that. You see what I'm saying? And it's been perfected in ancient Egypt. So when we think about, and so we have to reevaluate how we treat our women. That's just it. That's number one. And when we understand our place, and I've always said this, and I'll say it again, it's about Black divinity. Why is it? Because that's the highest state of our consciousness. You understand what I'm saying? When we was in Egypt, we was divine. You understand what I'm saying? We were king, we were gods and goddesses. That's something different. You see what I'm saying? We was at our highest level. You know, and under that consciousness is what how we achieve the greatest civilization that has ever existed on the planet. And people say, yeah, it failed, and it did. You understand what I'm saying? But the fact is, it lasted for so long. You understand what I'm saying? It showed you that there was many great elements and extraordinary elements that can still be used today. And what caused it to fall, we can look at that in hindsight and correct that, and we should be able to last even far longer. And then when people got to understand, number one, when you talk about Egypt falling, we're not just dealing with Egypt, we're dealing with Africa as a whole. Africa had already been in civilization for over 1,000,000 goddamn years. You know what I'm saying? In Egypt, you find 1,000,000 years of consciousness. You see what I'm saying? So it ain't just really 10,000 years. It's actually 1,000,000 years of what, Africans on top of all, civilized, pushing civilization forward until the fall of Egypt. So in that, the only thing that we failed in is number one, keeping them goddamn foreigners out our land, keeping all that wicked thoughts and shit and backwardism. See, that's what infected our people. And being so high up, and to the point, see, we never thought we could fall because we had been on top for so goddamn long. We didn't even have no expectation that we could ever fall. And see, that's sometimes that is your Achilles, what they call the Achilles heel. When you don't believe you can, and that's just like Mike Tyson when he went out there and fought Buster Douglas. He thought, he could do all of this, get high and drink and shit and do this and go out there and still beat that man. And that man had something else on his mind. Mama died. He had an energy to go out there and take it. And so sometimes we become drunk in how long and thinking we can just stay on top just because. No, we have to do the things eternally that keep us on top. We got to continue to practice them day in and day out. And this energy, this new energy that then came on the planet, we have to deal with this energy. You understand? We thinking that they lowly and this, that, and the third, and they are, but they plotting and they planning and they hungry. You understand? They hungry to usurp us, and they more hungry to usurp us than we are hungry to stay on top. That was the breaking point. We had been there for so long, we just think we're going to stay there just because, and that's not so. So we have to go back and revisit all the things that kept us great. And any king, if he's dealing with his kingship, then his legacy is in the resurrection of his dynasty. And the only way he's going to resurrect his dynasty is through his woman. And the preservation and protection of his children so that they can continue the legacy. If he does not do that, he's not a king. So too many niggas out here using that term king, but got another motherfucking beast out here that's oppressing the throne, which is Set, which is the woman. So you're not no goddamn king until you're ready to rise up and deal with this. You see what I'm saying? So that in the scope of things, tonight we dealing with the primordial waters of creation. When you look at the mermaid, you look at the serpentine goddess, you're looking at the symbol, the feminine symbol of eternity, primordial creation. You understand what I'm saying? You're dealing with resurrection and rebirth. You're also dealing with nourishment, the divine nourishment. You see what I'm saying? The sustainer of divine nourishment. You understand what I'm saying? Of the cosmos, studying melanin. You understand what I'm saying? Is of the feminine energy. That's why they got that so-called Kundalini and all of that. And motherfuckers say that, without, understanding that come up out of Africa. You see what I'm saying? So family, short and quick, to the point, very powerful. Study that Naga energy. Study the mermaid. Respect it for the great divine spiritual platform that it established on the planet. Get back to that energy. Get back to that divine respect for that energy. Get back the divine respect for each other. You see what I'm saying? And get a balance between the family, and let's get back on this throne. All right, this is King Seti. Hey, get with me now. Get with me. KingSeti.com online marketplace. Like I say, classic DVDs, t-shirt, jewelry, comedic, African jewelry. Check me out. I know it's something on there that you're going to be amazed about. Patreon, General Suten Seti. I got the Hermetic Occultism Exposed dropping tomorrow. Coming in with that smoke, too raw for Jew 2. Go on my Patreon and you can register to go, because it's a live stream. Be in the house. Be amazed. To my family out there that just want that straight up, want that raw motherfucking General Suten Seti. You know what it is. You go over there to GeneralSeti.com, Seti University. Over 500 videos on there. Fire. I went on there, goddamn. I don't have to boo shit. Fire. 500. And I'm steady stacking. So it's a treasure chest of wisdom that you just gotta have. I'm about to head over here to General Seti's page for this final live stream of the night. Run on over there. Don't miss it, goddammit. I'm dealing with Egypt in America. Egypt in America. The dilemma of Western scholars busting their head over and over and over. We got to understand this. When we remove the lie, then the truth will appear. When you remove the lies, the truth will appear. Come on over there, check me out, and be amazed. Black power.